Hello, everybody. I'm here today with a dear friend of mine. He's also a Brazilian person, very famous on social media. He's teacher Igor, as we say in Portuguese. How are you today, my friend?
I'm great. I'm really great. Really happy to be here. It's a pleasure.
Nice to have you for an interview. It's been a long time that I'm trying to reach out to you to have you on the channel. Why did you choose to be an English teacher?
Well, that's an interesting question because I don't think I chose it. I think it chose me
Yeah.
because I've been many things in my life, but I've always loved English.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a time in my life where I was really struggling. Like I didn't have a job
Yeah.
and graduated as a mechanical engineer. I couldn't find a job at the time. And I was like really struggling. It was a wrestle, but one day I saw like an ad, like we need an English teacher. It was an English school. I knew that I was fluent, but I
Yeah.
had no experience teaching English actually. I just could speak it.
Yeah.
And then I thought to myself, I'm gonna try that. And I went there. I subscribed to the interview, and I got the job. I don't know how, but I did it.
Great.
And first week doing the job, I just knew it was my thing. I thought I want to do that. Like I'm doing this now for the money, but now I kind of love it, so I'm gonna keep doing it. And I forgot about the mechanical engineer thing, and I was an English teacher for life.
How old were you when you started learning English?
Oh, I was pretty young. I guess I was 13 years old. Yeah, 13.
Yeah.
13.
Yeah. When did you get to know that you had fallen in love with the language?
Since the beginning actually, because I really loved movies and TV series. And once I started realizing that I could like understand things without subtitles, or maybe like even using Portuguese subtitles but understanding a couple of words, that started to excite me in a way that I thought, I love it. Like I just love it. And I really love American culture. It's something that like it was the right thing for me, like always. Always been.
Nice. English for me is a good addiction. When did you decide to turn to social media? And have you ever expected to be so successful?
Okay, just before I answer that question, I just want to leave a comment here that is, you're damn right when you say like you have to fall in love with the language, because English, I wouldn't say it's hard. It isn't hard at all. Anybody can learn it, but it takes time. Actually, it takes time, and it's like you have to work on it. So if you don't like it, it's gonna be hard for you to learn it. But answering your question now, well, it was actually the pandemic. So again, once again, I didn't have a job at the time, and I was like, because of the pandemic, actually, that's the reason I didn't have a job at that specific time. And I thought, now I have to try something new. I have to try something different. And then I thought, okay, so I love English. That's what I want to do. So why don't I start teaching English like by myself without working for any schools or anything? And I thought that social medias would be the best way to do it, because like I could reach the entire country, and later I found out that I could even reach the entire world. Actually, I've had students from several countries, and like it was very good, but I never expected to grow on social media so quickly. I did have like ambitions. I had a plan, like I'm gonna do it for real, but it was better than I expected. And I think the reason was TikTok. It was a new platform at the time, and there weren't a lot of English teachers there when I got in, and it was like great for me. And through TikTok, I started growing my Instagram account, my YouTube account a little bit. So I'm very grateful to TikTok. Yeah, I am.
Awesome. You need to have consistency to learn English. It's one of the first things that we have to do. How does it feel if we don't make any use of our mother tongue in the classroom when we are teaching our students, in the beginning at least?
Different teachers work with different methodologies,
Yeah.
but in my case,
Mm-hmm.
I do like to use Portuguese in the beginning stage of the learning experience because actually I think it's easier for the student. So an opinion I have is that I hear some people saying like you have to learn a language as if you were a baby growing up in the country, and etc. You know, what they say.
Yeah.
But I have an opinion that's a little different. I think, first of all, you aren't a baby, so your brain works a little different. Like a baby's brain's like a sponge, like absorbing every sorts of information. And a grown-up person brain is not like exactly like that.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, a baby hears the language all day long, 24/7, and you don't. You might have English classes like twice a week, and then you watch a couple of movies, study a little bit by yourself.
Yes.
But you're not in touch with the language all day long. So I think it's a little different. And I think using Portuguese in the beginning is kind of a shortcut. If you are in the country, it could be like different, but I don't think it's good to use Portuguese like during the entire process, but in the early stages, I think it's kind of useful. Yeah.
I have to second you on that, because if we start speaking English from day one, the student doesn't come back for class 2. I really agree with you. As non-native English teachers, we have gone through the same process our students have gone. So we know where the pitfalls are. Do you agree with me?
Totally. And there's even that thing where people say, oh, if you want to learn a language, you should learn from a native English speaker, not a person who speaks it as a second language.
Yeah.
But I totally disagree with that. Like, even though a native English speaker might speak English better than a person who speaks English as a second language, when you're teaching, it's not all about knowing it. Of course, it's important to really know the language you're teaching, but what is even more important is to know how to teach it. And if maybe a native person, and it depends on the person, each person like has its own, his or her own backstory. So, but depending on the person, they haven't learned how to teach. But we Brazilians, in order to learn English, as you said, we went through the same process that the student is going through. So we feel it. We know how it was for us. So we can like, I know what his, like you see your student and you know what he's going through. And like I know how I can help you because I know how, what he's been through now.
A person might be a native person in a language, like our mothers, for example, speak Brazilian Portuguese. But it doesn't necessarily mean that they can teach Portuguese. That's what I always say.
Like, I think it's a brilliant thing, and that's it. That's definitely it. And I could even say that I've learned more English as a teacher than as a student, because like you really have to change your approach, and you have to really understand how things work. Like it doesn't, some people use grammar, some people don't. Different people, different methodologies, but if the student asks you a question, you have to be able to answer it regardless of your methodology. So you start wanting to understand the language better, and I think it's a very good thing. And being a teacher is totally different to just speaking the language.
I have students who tell me, I loathe grammar. I don't want to learn grammar in any way. Sometimes I don't understand why they have this aversion. I have to tell them, okay, I'm not going to teach you grammar, only grammar, but when it's necessary, I have to teach you the difference between tenses, between grammar errors, grammar mistakes. There are some things that I have to teach you, you know. You don't need to learn grammar 100% of the time, but you need to learn the basics. What is a memorable moment that you have like a teacher?
Oh, that's a tough one because there are so many moments and it's hard to choose one.
Yeah,
But
yeah, yeah.
I would say that not one moment specifically, but
Mm-hmm.
when you see that the student is like really like enjoying the process, because in the beginning they might start like, okay, I need to learn it because I want a better job or because I want to move from my country to another. Like there's always a reason, and they always, not always, but usually have this mental block where they think English is too hard or impossible for them. And when they start to see that they're really enjoying it and that it's working, and they, oh my God, so it's possible. It comes to their mind, and I think that's the best moment because they start to enjoy the process, and then they really start to learn quickly, or at least quicker.
I totally agree with you. I totally agree with you. And before we go to the rapid round game, because we're getting to the end of the interview, I have one last question for you. What is the advice that you have for students to keep motivated to learn English?
It has to be fun. Like the classroom is an important part. It has to happen. But if you only do that, you're not gonna like it and you're not gonna learn it. At least not in a reasonable time. It's gonna take years, actually, many years. But if instead of only doing the classes, you also have fun with the language, which is listen to music, watch TV shows, movies. We have so many apps where you can talk to native English speakers for free. There are social medias that are specific for people who are learning the language. So if you do these kinds of things and you start to enjoy the process and be in touch with the language out of the classroom, it's gonna be amazing, and you're definitely gonna be motivated. I think so.
Awesome. Awesome. Now we're going to go to the rapid round game. So the first one is teaching English is?
Fun.
My life is?
Interesting.
The most beautiful word in English is?
Love.
If I had to choose another profession besides being an English teacher, I would choose?
Businessman, entrepreneur.
Wow. Friends are?
Amazing.
YouTube is?
Useful.
Okay.
Useful and fun.
Now you can ask me whatever you want.
Okay. English for you is?
My life. I love it.
Teaching for you is?
Rewarding.
Students for you are?
Friends.
Good. Yes, definitely. Brazil for you. What do you think of Brazil?
Brazil's my home country, where I always come back to.
And do you like it here?
I do. I do.
Yes. Now, one more fun question here. 20 or 20 for you?
20.
Me too. I say 20, but it's just a 20. Fun question here. Whatever.
The easier, the better. You know?
Yeah, I think so. Yes.
That's my choice. Well, we got to the end of the interview, and for every guest, I have a sentence, a quote, a takeaway. And for you is, I met you before you met me because I saw you on social media, and I was already on YouTube, and I thought up to myself, I'm going to invite him for an interview. I don't know what he's going to say. From your videos, I could see that you were an awesome person.
Oh,
And
thanks a lot.
definitely, I wasn't wrong. You are an awesome person. Keep doing what you do. When you come down to the countryside in the state of Sao Paulo, let me know so we can meet. But it was a huge pleasure to have you for an interview.
Oh,
You have a friend in me right now.
that's awesome. I'm really glad to hear what you just said, and I'm also really glad to have met you. It
Mhm,
was very interesting and great to talk to you. So
mhm.
it was a great pleasure.
Thank you so much. I hope you liked it. This was my friend Igor. All his details are going to be in the description below. See you next week. Thank you. See you.
My pleasure.
Hello, it's Rod's friend here, Gino from Real Everyday English. Sorry for interrupting your video. I just want to make a quick recommendation that you subscribe to Rodrigo's channel. He's an amazing guy, he's so humble, he's so dedicated, and he creates absolutely fantastic content. See you people soon. Bye bye, God bless.